Hi friends. It's been a while since I made a video on my YouTube. I think I was just going through things and then it got to a point that I didn't really know what to say or how to not be emotional or overshare, undershare, not say the right things. So I just took a pause. But I had a Facebook memory come up this morning that was a post that I had written a year ago. And what started out to be just a status update ended up being an essay long of a post because I just kind of blurted out everything that I wanted to say in the moment or had been ramping up. So I reread it and I'm glad that I reread it. I'm glad that I posted it because sometimes we just need the reminder of where we were and how far we've come and what we went through. Because sometimes when we're going through things in that moment, it's hard to understand. It's hard to understand why or what's going on or how to get through it or will we get through it. And we will. We will always get through it if we want to get through it. It's kind of whether we're willing to put in the work for it. We're willing to do it the right way, make the effort, and put ourselves in the best place that we need to be. So I hope that if you find yourself in a tough spot, you're strong enough to do what's best for you, for your family, for whatever it is in that situation. Just keep pushing ahead. Don't stop. Don't feel so. It's okay to be overwhelmed and it's okay to be stuck in a moment. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel pain, right? Like we get there. Like you just need to stop and you need to feel it. But pick yourself up and keep going. Don't completely shut down. So taking a pause, I guess, is okay. Quitting isn't okay. You're going to get through it. And I just reading that status that I had posted in mid 2020 as just where I was and what I was going through. The end of 2019 and early 2020 were really tough for me, and not in the COVID world of everything shutting down, having to deal with the pandemic, not those things, like in my personal life, like in my relationship life. I was really struggling and I was going through it because of a person that I trusted and I knew as one person, and unfortunately they proved to be somebody completely different, and it just like made my life, things are different. It was a very tough time for me and I was getting through it, and I'm a strong woman. I've been a strong woman. I have a kiddo that I've always needed to be strong for. My background and where I came from, I'm that. So I knew that I was that and I knew I could get through it. But I was finding myself struggling and it was hard. And I can say now, looking back at it, like while I was reading that, I dealt with that situation that I was in the best way I've ever dealt with that pain and that hard, tough spot, just in the best way that I could have. I felt pain. I broke down. I struggled and just made myself learn and made myself pick myself up, not using crutches, not booking my calendar so busy that I couldn't sit and deal with what I was, because that's my I like to be busy. I like to do things with people and that keeps me preoccupied. I don't have to deal with what's going on if I'm doing other things. I didn't do that. I didn't stay so busy. I didn't completely shut down my feelings and not pay attention to them and actually deal with them. I didn't silence my voice and not say to somebody what needed to be said where things were wrong and not okay. I didn't just like close down and not communicate that. I did all these things that needed to be done on, the outside to deal with it. And then I dealt with myself and I went through my heart and my anger, my sadness, my, whatever these things were. And then I picked myself up and got back to life. I cut off communication. I moved on from that. And where I am right now in my life, I'm in like this perfect place that I was meant to be where I am right now. But I don't think I would have been. I would be if I hadn't had gone through what had happened then. So in the moment, it's hard to want to be there and it sucks and it's terrible. And why is this happening? And how did it happen? And now a year later, it needed to happen. it put into perspective some things that were super important to me, some priorities, some things I needed to pay attention to, and some things that before were a bigger deal to me, but in reality and in perspective, they weren't a big deal. I thought that certain things mattered that didn't. And thankfully, I was able to walk away in a very level-headed place to look at my world around me and know what was important and what wasn't, and move on with my life. And thankfully, it in a way it took me back to somewhere that I had walked away from, and just I'm just in a good place, and I'm thankful for that. And I wanted to read, I have it here on my phone because it's like super long. I wanted to read this because I want to look back and I want to listen to this. Whether it's once a year, whatever, I want to hear these words, and I want other people to too, because sometimes we just need to be reminded too that things happen for a reason. And even if those things hurt, sometimes we need it. We need to grow. We need to rise above, and we have to learn. If we want to become better, we have to learn from something to be that. It doesn't always have to be heartache, just lessons, life lessons. We need them. Point blank, I'm a mom. We need them. We need them. This was the update. This was a post that I had written. Guys, life has its moments, and some days harder than others. Most of you that know me are very familiar with my smile and my laughter, because quite simply, that is who I am. I'm bubbly, cheerful, outgoing, friendly. I'd like to think there's a positive list also to follow that. Tonight, I'm finding myself in life feelings. The ones that make you ask questions about why things happen. Why do they have to occur? Don't worry, my wiser side is here to remind me. How do you expect to grow, to become stronger, more wiser? Wow, I'm strong enough to handle pretty much anything. Yes, I cry. Yes, I hurt and feel the pain. I get sad. I hope for something different. But it's not because lack of strength. It's because I have high hopes for better. My strength and hope for better combined will always get me through and help me heal. I would make a video. It's easier for me to record words than type a novel. No one cares to read. But I've been crying for the last hour and my face is red. I find myself stuck in some situations between my opinion side, needing to be heard, and knowing it really doesn't matter. Life will go on, and me sharing my side won't change anything. So instead, what I need to say is who I am. I'm a mother above all things. Because I chose to create life, so until that life is ready to walk and stand alone, I signed up to be a guardian, a teacher, an advisor, a protector, among many others. I'm a person. I'm strong-headed, full-hearted, kind-loving, confident, independent, sensitive, unbreakable, yet fragile woman. I'm an employee because no matter what goes on around me, I have a mouth to feed, a roof to provide, a level of comfort to give, and I am the only person that I can count on to provide what is needed. I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, a neighbor, a teammate. I am wrapped up in so many packages that most days it's hard to be able to be only one of them, let alone be all of them. I grew up in a world of having not much, of getting a lot of material things and then losing them in a night. I was brought into a world that an addiction was more important than the face of something you yourself created. That one high was enough to leave your whole world behind. That a fix was an excuse for why you couldn't be a parent. The world I was brought into was so broken, yet it continues to occur every day. Statistics would have you believe that I should be on that path, and sadly I could have. But I'm nowhere near that. I'm so far from that world because I was loved and given a chance by people that cared more about others than they did themselves, by people that took in a stranger to care for and provide for. Luckily, I now call them my parents. They gave me a chance away from a darkness that I may have never found. Earlier tonight, I had someone tell me, I saw tiny Tawny with the ability to save the world in her eyes. This prepares you for worse things so you might help others for better later. One day you will thank God for unanswered prayers. That was a quote from someone 1 year ago of what he had said to me with what I was going through at the time. Here's why I share. I love people, all people. I feel like God created me in a black and white television set to monotone. Everyone walks into my life with the exact same playing field as everyone else. I welcomed people with open arms. It's once you set up shop in my life that I start seeing your colors unfold. Your scars, your stories, your triumphs, your tragedies, and then how you treat others because of them. Our lives are not perfect. None of us have a perfect past or perfect situation. I was blessed to have people give me a chance, to allow me to be better than that path I was on would have allowed previously. What I have done with that, it's all me. It's my choices. It's been my hard work. It's learning who I wanted to become and making things happen. God gave me so much love in my heart despite the world I came from. I have the ability to love and to see good in others. I set boundaries because He built me strong. Strong enough to care about people. I do set boundaries. He built me strong. Strong enough to care about people, all people, no matter their past or their present. Strong enough to look past what others see to find the good in them. I give chances that others wouldn't look twice at when I know someone's heart is deserving. When people break that, it hurts. It hurts terribly bad. I am strong, but as God created me, I'm fragile to my core. When you twist a knife in me, I bleed deep. As my tears pour out, I release pain. Not as my weakness, but as all the words I think so many deserve to choke on. I take a deep breath. I hold on to them because I know my strength is mightier. For those He has built to hold their tongue, they make the sacrifice that others are not strong enough to make. Those who fight with harsh words, that is a weakness. You are using a weapon that was not meant to tear others down. But you aren't strong enough to hold your tongue and control it. Instead, you weaponize it. So for me, as I sit here trying to understand my path, I know I was created to love people. I know I was created to be accepting of all. I know I was created to give chances to hearts that are true. I also know I was created to know my boundaries and to stand up for myself. So how do I know where I'm meant to be somewhere and when I'm meant to walk away? I have prayed and I have cried. I have begged and I have pleaded. Guidance, please. Yes, as I type this, I remember who I am first, a mother. As a mother, I am teaching my daughter and son to make their own path. Not only by deciding their choices, but by watching me make mine. God did create me to love others, but most of all, He taught me to love me. He taught me how to become someone I could love, someone I respect, someone I believe in, someone I admire for the strength that at times shocks my own self. So in typing this, what I realize is I pick me. I pick the strength I have to stand up for what I believe in, to know that I know myself best and to be confident in my decisions, to not accept things because others think we should. The respect they have for themselves and behaviors they accept do not have to be the same as mine and vice versa. I am saddened by the struggles in our world, by the hurt in people's heart to hurt others, by the pain that gets passed on instead of working to cure. So I look forward to continuing to love others, to spread joy and laughter. Just please understand that when I fill up from all the pain I take from others, I will need to cry and rest myself. But I will bounce back. I always bounce back. God created a fighter perfectly knitted with love. That was my status. And I hope someone can listen to those words and take something from it, because I will. I will listen to my words year and year again as I find myself in tough places. And that can be in all aspects of life. You're going to find hard spots that you're in, not because it's your fault or you deserve it or any of that, but because life is real and life is constant. And if life were perfect, we would all be exactly the same. And that's not a world I want to live in. I'm okay to feel things and I'm okay to go through things as long as I can get past them and I can learn from them. So please share this with somebody that needs to hear it. Please pick someone up that needs it and just keep going. Don't let things that have happened to you define you. Let them strengthen you and let them help you become the best version of you. Every situation you find yourself in that you have to get through, each time you have the chance to become a better and better and better version. Everything starts today and you make this choice on what you do with it. So make it a good one. Be strong enough to love yourself and do what is best. This is Tawny.